On December the 14th, 1934, the Brooklyn Daily Eagle published a front-page article on the long-anticipated arrest of 65-year-old Albert Fish. America had never seen a more heinous villain, and therefore the details in the article were extraordinary. 3 large-scale photographs of the crime scene, the victim and the perpetrator, are clearly visible, immediately drawing attention to the event. The title of the article, Bud Girl's Slayer, Branded a Cannibal, Reenacts His Crime, is an emotive piece of text. Using the word slayer and cannibal depict Fish as a monster and the perceived weight of his crime. The words slayer and cannibal are used repetitively throughout the media coverage of this case and highlights how the media of the time used such emotive language even before he was officially found guilty. Page 3 of the same newspaper sets out in detail the confession of Albert Fish to Dr. Defoe. You can see here his interview with Fish is openly published. The details of the interview are astonishing, from where Mr. Fish lived to the shop where he purchased the murder weapons. It is unlikely the media would even consider publishing such a conversation due to the rights of those facing the law today. The Chicago Daily Tribune, December the 15th, 1934. The media updates the public on the case. Set out by subheadings, it is clear the police seek more evidence by way of dental records to formally identify the body of 10-year-old Grace Budd. Surprisingly, the media identifies the detective in charge of apprehending Mr. Fish. Again, the detail is overwhelming, disclosing the policeman in charge of arresting Albert Fish. December the 16th, 1934. The media of the New York Times reports in detailed description on the unveiling of new bones. It feels as though the media are right there looking on exactly what is happening, and perhaps they were. This article gives the reader an idea of how active police are in this investigation. December the 17th, 1934. Los Angeles Times reporters update the public on how various justice departments are looking to fast-track the indictment of Albert Fish. The enormity of his crime is showcased through daily reports telling us how the public were kept closely informed on the development of this case. December the 18th, 1934. The New York Times present another lengthy column on the murder case. The writer uses the word alienists to describe the visitors to where Mr. Fish was being kept. Unsure of the term, it was revealed this is an old term used to describe a psychologist or a psychiatrist, a somewhat archaic term that was used during these times. From this section, there is the possibility of Fish pleading insanity. December the 23rd, 1934. New York Times columnists reveal a startling event. The media explain how another child may have had a close call with Mr. Fish but was scared off by a Negro. The prejudiced language is normal for the time, but it certainly would not be accepted in this modern age. January the 9th, 1935. The New York Times reports of Albert Fish's plea for insanity being denied. Not only were they denied, but the reason behind the denial was indicated here. It rests in the sound discretion of the court. It feels as though the public were so well informed in the absence of TV, giving the reader a clear image of how the case was unfolding. January the 20th, 1935. Los Angeles Times reporters provide the public with one of the most chilling reports. As more information was gathered, the media did not hesitate to share it with the public. The description of Grace Budd's murderer, Albert Fish, is given. He is portrayed as a fragile old man, and the words link well with the photo here on the left. The letters that proved his undoing were made available to the media of the time, and here we can see a section of one of these letters. A detailed and graphic piece of media that would certainly cause debate being published in newspapers these days. And finally, a small account of what happened on the day of Grace Budd's murder. The victim has been portrayed as none the wiser, a completely innocent little girl, unaware she was carrying the tools of her death. An emotional piece of text, a chilling account the writer gave of her final day.